Imagine you have built the most amazing smart home with all the latest technologies, but you forgot to lock the doors, install security cameras, and anyone can, like strangers, walk in and walk out. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happens when organizations deploy applications in Kubernetes without proper security. Hey, hello everyone. My name is Sainath, and today we are learning Kubernetes security in simplest way possible by comparing it with your house. By the end of this video, you will understand why security matters in Kubernetes, and you will understand four critical phases of security in Kubernetes. So let's get started. So we'll start from understanding why we need security. We'll understand a real world analogy by comparing with our understanding, and then we'll understand the four phases of security in Kubernetes. So let's get started. But before getting started, let me tell you a short story. So this is a Bob. This Bob has recently learned about Kubernetes, and he has deployed a application in Kubernetes. And he is very much amazed by the power of containerization and all features of Kubernetes. And he has deployed application in Kubernetes. But after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, his company got hacked. All the data, all the users data inside the cluster got lost, and applications got crashed. Why this happened? Because he has not set up a security for this cluster. So this is the reason why we need to set up a security for our cluster. So let's think the Kubernetes security is like protecting your house. Think like this: Kubernetes cluster is like your house. Like inside your Kubernetes cluster you have your applications running, and inside your home you have your valuables like secret, jewelries, and all those things. And like hackers tried to get inside your cluster, the same way thieves can try to get inside your house and take you all your credentials. Just like you don't leave your house completely open, you cannot leave your Kubernetes cluster unprotected. Now, but the question still remains the same: why we need security? So, before we dive into how to secure the Kubernetes, let's understand what happens when we don't, what can go wrong when we don't set up security. Data theft means thieves can get inside your home and try to loot you. The same way in Kubernetes cluster, hackers can get inside your cluster and steal your secrets, configs, and all the secret informations about your company. Sometimes they don't just steal your informations, but they will destroy all the services, apps running inside your cluster, which makes your application unavailable. And the worst part is, let's say any of the thief get inside your home and get in any of the room, and he gets some other credentials like your bank details or all those things. The same goes in our Kubernetes clusters. Like if any of the thief enters into any one of the node inside of a cluster, he can enter into any other node and then any other node. The same way he can destroy or hack our complete cluster. So this is why we need to understand security matters. So talking about the points, actual points, that is internal threat exist means the knowingly or unknowingly organization peoples can do some tasks that are not allowed to do. Misconfigurations can happen. Workload isolations means inside cluster, a single cluster there could be multiple teams working like dev, qv, and prod. User from one team can knowingly or unknowingly can access the things of other team. Supply chain attacks means you may push your docker, you may push your images to registries. Use the you may use the third party libraries dependencies, and you can use also the base images which you don't know they are already hacked or not, or they are vulnerable or not. So those all things should be measured. Now that we understand the risk, let's learn how to protect our Kubernetes by following the four phases of security in Kubernetes. What are those four phases? Develop phase, distribute phase, deploy phase, runtime phase. Don't worry, I will try to explain each phase in a easy manner so that it gets straight into your head. So starting with the develop phase. What is this develop phase? Let's say when you are building your house, you hire an architect which who will help you to design your home, uh, help you how to build your home, where what should be used and all. The same way, when you write your application, you design the architecture of your application, all the services, how all services should be communicating with each other. You write the secure code. You don't hard code the passwords or server ports. You write the modular code, which means you follow the dry principle, which is do not repeat yourself. And you should review your code weekly or monthly basis, so that you find the small issues which should not turn into the big issues. And next is the static application testing, which means you scan your codes at regular basis to understand the issues, and prevent the big problems. This can be done by using the tools like sonar cube and all. So this our develop phase is the foundation base of our security. So this should be taken very much importantly. And if this phase is built very much strong, the other aspects of security will become ease. Now the next phase is distribute phase. This phase is like ensuring the materials delivered to your house are authenticated and not tampered during transport. What do I mean by this? Like whenever you build your code, you create the docker images for your application. The base image which you use for your applications should be secured, which means they should not have any vulnerable or malware inside them. Those images should be always updated and patched with securities. Image scanning, which means you should always scan the images before you use them inside your application. If the images have any vulnerables or defects, so that you can detect it early before applying them inside your application. And then using the trusted registries like AWS ECR, which is private by default. You can also use Docker Hub, but make sure you keep your images private so that it is only accessible with your organization people. So this is the distribute phase, which means you should always use the secured and best material for your house to your Kubernetes cluster. Now the next phase is deploy phase, which means having a security guard for your house who always make sure who has access to your house and who can enter into your house. It's like in your organizations, only the admin people can access the secrets and configs of your cluster. No one else can access. Like in your only the members from the prod group can access the production environment resources. No other users can access that. You should always use RBAC, which is a role based access control, which applies the authentication and authorization for your Kubernetes. So using RBAC is very much necessary to give the security for your Kubernetes cluster. So this is your deploy phase. Now the next is runtime phase, which means living in the house securely, which means uh, when the multiple users are accessing your application inside your cluster, your application inside your cluster is secured completely. So in this phase we have three different phases like access, compute and storage. So what is this access? Access means in your Kubernetes cluster you have API server, which is like a main gateway to communicate with the other resources or other resources of Kubernetes, to talk to other nodes or other resources of Kubernetes, talk to control plane components. So API server is the main gateway for that. So securing this API server is very much necessary. So we can do that by TLS and certificates. So Access tells about this, securing your API server. The next is compute. What do I mean by compute now? So whenever you run your application, containers run inside the pod, and by default, when the container is running, it runs with the root privileges. Means it runs as a root user, which has too much of power, which should not be given until it is not necessary. So for that, we can use pod security or security context by explicitly defining that root user sorry container should run at a specific user. Now the storage means uh, by default all the data of the Kubernetes is stored in a etcd. So securing this etcd is very very much important. Keeping the backup and also securing the backup and management of the keys secrets is very much necessary, because all the data is stored in this etcd only. So this is what the runtime phase tells. So next is networking and observability. So security is not just about the four main phases of Kubernetes. It's all about networking and observability also. So by networking, we can describe the network policy, which means by default in our Kubernetes cluster, all the pods can communicate with each other. So we can, by network policy, we can restrict that. We can say which pods can communicate with which other pods. Same network mesh also, which setups the secure internal communication. And then observability. By observability, we can set up logs and metrics and dashboards, by which we can track the historical data about the users, which all users accessed what, or if any application goes down or crashed, what happened so that application got crashed. We can watch all the logs and track the anomalies also. Not anomalies, but other the things that went wrong against our cluster. Okay, now just let's quickly recap what we have learned till now. So four phases are like develop phase, which is building with strong materials, that is using secure code, modular code, reviewing your code. Next is distribute phase, verifying the material that aren't tempered, like scanning your images before using them. Next is deploy phase, which is using role-based access control, using authentication and authorization. Who has what access? Next is runtime phase, securing your API server, secure, not giving your pods, sorry, containers root level access, and securing your storage, that is etcd. And next is networking, using network policy for internal communication, and observability for logs, metrics, and dashboards. Remember, build strong, buy safe. Build strong is secure code. Buy safe is always use secure images. Security guard means RBAC, using RBAC. Live securely means your application is running completely secured when multiple users are accessing that. Watch carefully is networking and observability. So that's it for this video. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And I will see you in next video. Thank you.